Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we head into the news in detail, here's a look at the headlines for tonight.
Police fire tear gas to disperse protesting students at the University Grants Commission. Extreme weather affects over 400,000 people in 5 provinces, 5 lives lost. Opposition leader of the North Central Province pledges support to the president. The current regime has worked towards the destruction of the SLFP, a statement from Maithripala Sirisena.
And on to your stories in detail now. A group of students staged a protest today against the decline in the quality of the Higher National Diploma in Accounting. Police fired tear gas to disperse the protesters who attempted to enter the premises of the University Grants Commission.
The Higher National Diploma in Accounting was introduced in the year 1990 and the course is completed in a duration of 4 years. 17 HND schools are functioning across the island and the course is available in 16 of the HND schools. Students allege that a plan is underway to reduce the duration of the course to 3 years. They charge that this posed a serious threat to the quality of the HND in accounting, and the students also claim that this represents an attempt to sell HND courses. The students who commenced the protest from Colombo Fort intended to meet the Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education at the UGC premises today. The situation escalated quickly. A group of students staged a fast following the arrest of 4 other students. However, the police say that no arrests were made and noted that students were dispersed with the use of water cannons and tear gas.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that he was able to develop the government service through proper management. He made this statement during a tour of the Badulla district yesterday.
Prior to engaging in an inspection tour of the Badulla district, President Mahinda Rajapaksa participated in a public rally organised in the Kanadavattiyapolur junction in Viyaluwa. Thereafter, the President took part in a public rally held near the Valimada bus stop.
I say what I do and I do what I say. If I cannot, then I will not even say it. Mahinda Rajapaksa is a man who does what he says. Look at the Samurdhi. I have increased it by 3,000. Mothers, you can also request for a bank loan for disabled people above the age of 65 years, while separate loans are given to women, interest-free. We have allocated funds for 150,000 youth so we can give them employment. This is what we have done. It is true that I have made ports and airports, but these are added resources for our country. Now they are trying to sell these resources as well. Venerable Theros, this lady took the surrounding lands and sold it. During an emergency, can you get any land to even bury the dead? Can you? Not even the government can do this. Why? Because they refuse, saying they have reached an agreement to own this land.
දැන් පුළුවන් ද හදිස්සියකට මිනිහක් වල්ලා ගන්න භූමි භාගයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ද ආණ්ඩුවටත් බෑ. ඇයි කියනෝ නෑ අපි ගියුසුමක් ගහලා තියෙනවා.
An event was held to welcome the president at the AM Buddhadasa Sports Ground in Uvaparnagama. The president gave a public address in close proximity to the Diyathalawa Pradeshya Sabha.
අපි රටේ කළමනාකරණය කරපු නිසා
It is through good management that we were able to develop the government service sector. It is because of proper management that we were able to reduce poverty. We were able to create new universities. We were able to increase the number of universities. We have great hope in a future in which everyone will be able to live a new life in a new future.
සියලු දෙනාට අලුත් ජීවිතයක් ගත කරන්න. අලුත් අනාගතයක් බලාපොරොත්තුවක් අපි ගාව තියෙනවා.
The following views were expressed at another meeting organized by the United People's Freedom Alliance in Monragala.
Singapore කුමන්ත්‍රණයක් මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. නොවැම්බර් 1 වෙනිදා ඉඳලා වැඩේ පටන් ගත්තා.
There's a Singaporean conspiracy taking place here. It started on the 1st of November. The main conspirator, who is Chandrika Bandaranaike, also known as CBK, took a flight aboard Emirates Airlines. On the 2nd of November, Champika Ranavika takes a flight as well. Ranil Wickramasinghe takes a flight aboard Cathay Pacific. Rajitha Senaratne takes a flight on UL 582, while on the 26th of November, Digambaran books a flight on UL 882. On the 25th of November, Vasantha Senanayake also leaves. On the 13th of December 2014, Vijitha Herat leaves while Malik Samar Vikrama stays for only one day. Hirunika Premachanda books a flight aboard UL 306 on the 10th of December 2014. They came back after they sorted out their dealings, and it is then that Maithripala Sirisena began his game on the 28th. What we should do on the morning of the 8th of January, we should cast our vote beside the betel leaf and we should elect President Mahinda Rajapaksa as our president once again.
නැවතත් මේ රටේ ජනාධිපති අපේ නායකයා මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාම මමයි කියන එක ඉතාමත් පැහැදිලිව කියන්න ඕන.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Maithripala Sirisena, said measures are being taken by the government to destroy the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. He made this statement at a rally held in Attanagalla yesterday.
Public representatives of the common opposition as well as party leaders participated at the rally that was organized under the auspices of presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena.
Sri Lanka නිදහස් පක්ෂ මූලස්ථානය ලෝකයේ කිසිම රටක නැති විදිහට අලුතෙන් හදනවායි කියලා.
Namal Rajapaksa had mentioned 3 years ago that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party headquarters will be rebuilt into a structure as never seen in the world before. He also said that this would be the world's biggest party headquarters. But people are yet to see this building. We gather in Horogolla on the 26th of September to commemorate the death of late Sirimava Bandaranaike. The ministers and parliamentarians of the government were never able to come to Horogolla. It has been 2 years since Basil Rajapaksa had held the position of national organizer of the party. He is yet to recruit at least one member to the party. The party's youth representation structure has been fully demolished with the introduction of the ploy tagline, Taruneta Hetak. Mahinda Rajapaksa took up the task of destroying and weakening every link he could. Did you give liberty to me or any other minister to operate his ministry? All ministries were operated from temple trees. The minister's job is in limbo from there onwards. The people of the country have come to understand the magnitude of the destruction done to this country.
මේ රටේ ජනතාව බොහොම පැහැදිලිව තේරුම් ගන්න තිබෙනවා.
මේගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ පුරකම නිසා රටේ උද්දමනය ඉහළට ගිහින් තියෙනවා ශීඝ්‍රයෙන්.
The country's inflation has shot up as a result of their fraudulent activities. They have swiftly hidden that away. The reports of the central bank will shine a light on these fraudsters. These fraudsters cannot reign forever. The country's 3 biggest kingpins became party members at the SLFP and made their way to hold ministerial posts. We need to make the SLFP an immaculate and flawless party once again.
We need to make reforms to the society of the nation. Who else is missing? If we have on our side the man behind the victory of the war, Sarath Fonseca, the unwavering support of the United National Party, and the woman who created the SLFP in Antanagalla, Chandrika Bandaranayaga Kumaratunga, the entire country is on our side. All what is happening owing to the loopholes in the country's constitution, and also the Elections Commissioner is unable to operate in his capacity as the power vested in him has been taken away single-handedly. Election laws are void in our country. We need to come together to form a new government, and through that we should pave the way for a new constitution. Once the plan is put in place, the Mason will do the needful. It is cowardly for someone to harass someone else while in power. There are many who are quick to say that politics should not be motivated by revenge. But what is said, is it not put into action? They cannot act like that and defeat us.
The ruling party charges that Maithripala Sirisena is attempting to establish a military tribunal in the country. Responding to these allegations, Maithripala Sirisena's faction said the accusation is baseless.
Hindu පුවත්පතට ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂක මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මහතා කරලා තිබෙන ප්‍රකාශය.
Maithripala Sirisena made a statement to the Hindu newspaper. In this interview, he says he will establish a military tribunal. Not only did he give assurances to implement such a system, but he also stated that through this he will create a legal system where he can sentence war heroes who fought during the war period. Through his manifesto, he once again certifies that. He says he will establish an international military tribunal, and that since the Rome Convention was not signed, he will prepare to hold a domestic independent inquiry. Whether he says it at home or abroad, one thing is clear. He is stating in public that he will punish war heroes who fought in the war and that he will take action against them.
ඒක තමයි යුද්ධයට සම්බන්ධ වෙච්ච රණවිරුවන්ට දඬුවම් කරන්න ඔවුන්ට එරෙහිව ක්‍රියා කරනවායි කියලා ජාතියටම ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා ප්‍රසිද්ධයි. ජාතියටම ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා ප්‍රසිද්ධයි.
විශේෂයෙන්ම කියන්න ඕන මේ ප්‍රචාරයක් කරගෙන යනවා අපි කිව්වයි කියලා මේ හමුදා පිළිබඳ පරීක්ෂණයක් කරනවා කියලා.
There is a rumor that we said we would investigate the army. We would also like to say that Sarath Fonseca is the one who directed the war and the army. Therefore, the general has no wish to take any army personnel to an international criminal court or punish them through an international court. We have no wish to help in implementing such a program, and if we are intervening with international bodies under the current president's tenure, we would like to state that we will intervene responsibly. This is a false allegation. We are the ones who will be protecting the president. If their government retains power, he will be at the war tribunal. He has no plans drawn for this. All his foreign minister does is preach various qualities and rant away. We don't have a foreign ministry in Sri Lanka that can stop this. All they do in the foreign ministry is go abroad, get drunk and beat each other up. There isn't a foreign ministry in the world that engages in such thuggery. We were embarrassed to see this while being seated as ministers in the cabinet. When you see this, we know they have no program to save him from it.
The officer in charge of the Vandaruba Police, Police Inspector P.L. Kirti Singh, has resigned from his position. He says that a situation has arisen where he can no longer execute his duties.
It has come to a point where I can no longer execute my duties. By working with politicians starting from the local level, a situation has reached where you can no longer enforce the law of the country. In order to protect the name of the police department, I have returned my uniform. Through this example, I hope that the future of the police department will be successful.
At an event held in Veerakatia yesterday, UNP Deputy Leader Sajith Premadasa extended a challenge to the government over the circular issued with regard to the provision of motorcycles at the concessionary price of 50,000 rupees.
The UNP Electorate Council meeting in Mulkirigala, Veerakatia was held last evening under the auspices of UNP Deputy Leader Sajith Premadasa. They distributed motorcycles recently. I have the circular here with me. The initial payment is 50,000 rupees. There is a first, second and third step in the payment process. The circular says that you cannot sell the bicycle received for 50,000 rupees until 5 years have passed. What does this show? I am saying this to our beloved public servants. They have deceived you once again. Remember this well. It is certain that this government is preparing to extort money from your wages over 5 years in addition to the 50,000 rupees you have to pay. I extend the challenge to this government. If what I am saying is a lie, then issue a circular immediately, stating that once they pay the 50,000 rupees, the public servants will have full ownership of the motorcycles.
Chairman of the All Ceylon Muckle Congress, or the ACMC Minister Rishad Bathiuddin, pledged his support to Maitripala Sirisena today. ACMC members, including Nationalist parliamentarian Amir Ali, were present at the media briefing convened today to announce their decision.
With the emergence of racial disputes, you all know the problems that cropped up in this country, which existed as a small family. As a cabinet minister, I made several requests from the president and the respective security units to put a stop to this. We requested punishment to be meted out against those who carried out such activities. No one was punished. It wasn't stopped. It continued to progress. The community was in fear. You know about the incident in Alutgama. It was pre-planned. We took this up. We made statements requesting that this be stopped beforehand. Being fully aware, they let it happen. In truth, I am thankful to Minister Basil Rajapaksa for working to stop this from spreading. They tried to take it all over Sri Lanka. He worked day and night and rendered his fullest support to end it. We requested this to stop, but it did not.
Nevertheless, several actions of Rishad Bathiuddin in the recent past have been condemned by the public. He intervened in a private matter in the life of Minister Rauf Hakim and claimed that there was no intervention in spite of there being video evidence of the same. People were also displeased when Bathiuddin recently made a statement critical of the Bishop of Mannar.
The Bishop of Mannar has addressed a letter to the President claiming that Muslim people are forcefully claiming jungle areas. These people are residents of Mannar. Where else are they to live? A copy of the letter sent to the President has been sent to me. I looked at it and brought it with me as evidence. When Tamil people settle in their land or army camps are established, where are the displaced to go? Should they jump in the sea? We are not asking for a state or for powers. We are asking for 10 or 20 perches for our people to live. We are asking for half an acre for them to cultivate. MPs from the Tamil National Alliance and religious leaders who should be preaching and fostering unity are undermining this. The way I see it, there is no difference between the Bishop of Mannar and the Bhikkhu in Dambulla.
He was also accused of exerting pressure on the Mannar Magistrates Court and was also accused of masterminding an attack on the court. He later begged forgiveness from the court in order to settle the matter. His attempts to clear a sanctuary in the Vilpattu National Park and put up settlements was also criticized severely.
Speaking at a rally held in Ratnapura this evening, President Mahinda Rajapaksa commented on the group that left the government today.
Ada samaru innawa Muslim janatawa pendala kiyana me okkoma Muslim janatawa mage.
Today, there are some people who show Muslims and claim to represent the whole Muslim community, and they try to cut deals. But we wish to say that the innocent Muslim people will not be bought for money like these leaders. These are false statements. They say leaders come and go, but no leader has gone over yet. 2 left today. We know why he is going. He took a parliamentary seat from one of my people and went over. If they have any shame or self-respect, they should have resigned from that seat and gone over as gentlemen. They must leave as gentlemen.
දැන් ලැජ්ජා ආත්ම ගරුත්වයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒ මන්ත්‍රීකමෙන් අස් වෙලා මහත්ෙක් වගේ යන්න ඕන මහත්ෙක් වගේ යන්න ඕන.
The opposition leader of the North Central Province, Kings Nelson, pledged his support to President Mahinda Rajapaksa today.
I cannot work for Maitripala Sirisena. He speaks of good governance and tries to act like a humble person, but he does not possess either of those qualities. As soon as he comes out of the board in Polonnaruwa and Habarana, he is a completely different person. When he returns to Polonnaruwa, he changes again. The UMPs do not have to pay for his dreams of becoming Prime Minister being dashed. Everyone who gets on that stage is trying to ride on the shoulders of UMPs to resolve their personal private problems. I will not allow that.
As the political stage heats up, several politicians are even employing their poetry talents. Let's take a look at some of the views expressed in the political arena.
Although they all have files now, you remember what they said then. Oh great king, tell us now why you protected these rogues. Even the baby knows why they were not punished. This is a true story.
When a new hotel is put up, even we like to go and eat there. The Ulundu Wade at Nana's shop at the junction used to be quite large, but now they are quite small.
The four brothers get together and say that they are happy and they have no sadness. Now they eat public property.
He's like the gypsy that has lost the cobra. What happens to the gypsy when he loses the cobra? There is no one to make dance and he has no life afterwards. So now he's trying to make rat snakes dance. We must tell you that their battle will never be successful.
Are they jealous? Now they are afraid and are hassled, saying, no, you cannot do this. The Rajapaksas can tell us if they are against wages being increased by 10,000 rupees. If you are against us giving 1,500 rupees to the despairing senior citizens, then tell us that you are against giving it to the people.
Don't you know that the president has left nothing behind for them to do for you? He has done everything that needs doing. They are acting out now to once again bring an era of bomb explosions to the country.
Most people ask for it because of what they say, just as the fish is destroyed because of its mouth. Politicians too get destroyed the same way. What they are saying is allow him to steal from the country and divide it among his family because he won the war and saved the country. While they steal and fill their pockets, you have been made to starve at home.
They say that expenses are too high. They make up lists for this. If these people at rallies when Kashyapa built Sigiriya and created the frescoes, they would have said that the construction of Sigiriya at such a massive cost was also a mistake. They would have said that Kashyapa would have been taken to court.
There must be development. Roads must be tarred. We are not against it. What they are talking about today is them pocketing 100 million after getting a 100 million rupee job done for 200 million. They let their henchmen steal as well. Is this how you build a nation? Is this what leaders should do?
They are scolding President Mahinda Rajapaksa. They scold his brothers. He says this family is stealing from the country. President Mahinda Rajapaksa is not mad to give his children horses and helicopters.
They say the president's salon door is also open. Anyone can come in. When they come, they go and ask them what the qualification is. They say, sir, we are the ones who smuggle drugs, shoot and kill people. Another one comes and says, sir, I am the one who brings in ethanol. I run all the bars in Sri Lanka and I am the one who rapes the women. And he too is welcomed. The rogue is protecting all the other rogues.
Now on to one of our headline-making stories. More than 450,000 persons from 5 provinces in the island have been severely affected by the extreme weather. The Disaster Management Centre stated that there are currently more than 46,000 persons living in 205 relief camps, while 5 persons have lost their lives due to the incessant downpours and the flooding.
People from 13 districts belonging to the North, North Central, Central, Northwestern and Eastern provinces have been severely affected due to the heavy rains experienced in the area over the past 3 days. The Eastern province is the worst affected. 3 persons have lost their lives, while more than 110,000 persons have been affected. Residents living in close proximity to the Minneria Reservoir in Polonnaruwa were issued a warning due to a leak reported from the reservoir. Officers from the Disaster Management Centre, police and Navy took measures to barricade the outer wall of the reservoir with sandbags in order to reconstruct the wall. Several tanks, including the Parakama Samudra and Kaudula Reservoir, continue to overflow. Areas located between Galalla and Manampitiya along the Polonnaruwa-Batticaloa main road continue to remain inundated by 4 feet of water. Vehicular movement in the area has come to a standstill. This is the manner in which a section of the Vihara Mawata along the Madirgiri-Colombo main road had caved in. Institutions which provide essential services in the Madirgiri town still continue to be affected by the floods. Thereby, our correspondent noted that services at the Madirgiri base hospital, police and district secretariat have come to a standstill. The irrigation department states that 53 main reservoirs continue to overflow, while tanks in 9 districts have exceeded spill level. 83 reservoirs in Anuradhapura continue to overflow. According to the Disaster Management Centre, 20,884 persons belonging to 6,224 families have been affected as a result. Currently, there are 3,000 persons belonging to 908 families who have sought refuge in 26 relief centres in the Anuradhapura district. $88,845 persons belonging to 2,432 families have been affected by floods and heavy rains experienced in the Trincomalee district. The Disaster Management Centre stated that 1,547 families have been placed in 17 relief centres. Meanwhile, the Kantale-Seruvila main road was closed owing to flooding. Due to the Kantale reservoir overflowing, surrounding villages have been inundated. Meanwhile, an individual was swept away by strong currents in close proximity to the Talayaru bridge in Kocheveli this morning due to the inclement weather situation. 3 women who attempted to cross a shore bridge in the Ulanda area in Mahapalassa and Bilpitiya were swept away by strong currents last night. Our correspondent stated that the bodies of 2 women were found this morning. The police, army and divers from the Navy have commenced search operations for the missing.
Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit, says that everyone must come together devoid of party differences to welcome the Pope. The Archbishop of Colombo made this statement while addressing a gathering in Negombo yesterday.
There's only one Pope for the whole world, not many. So he has convinced to visit Sri Lanka ahead of his official balcony address. You remember, after being elected, his address to the masses from the cathedral balcony. It was before this address that I invited His Holiness to the country. I held a lot of anticipation and hope when I invited him. Thanks to the Lord, he accepted my invitation at that time. It was after his acceptance of my invitation that this poll was announced. This happened later. We don't want to spoil it because of that. It was a great blessing that the Pope accepted the invitation and chose to visit Sri Lanka, a small country in Asia. So we must prepare to welcome His Holiness at this time. We have no issues pertaining to who emerges victorious at the election. But whoever is the winner, welcome the Pope. The winner and the loser must all come together to welcome the Pope.
The Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit, says that along with the visit of His Holiness Pope Francis, the government and the opposition should take the opportunity to show that the election is a catalyst towards greater unity. In an interview with Iglesias DRC, the information arm of the Paris Foreign Mission Society, Cardinal Ranjit spoke about issues related to Pope Francis's apostolic visit to the country from the 13th to the 14th of January. In the interview, the Archbishop of Colombo said, quote, a request was made to the President to postpone the election, knowing that judging from previous elections, elections are always accompanied by tensions and even violence, unquote. Furthermore, he stated if the Pope had requested not to come or to postpone his trip, it would give the Sri Lankan people and the world the message that there is only an ability to hold forth the greatness of our civilization, but in reality, the masses indulge in violence. He also stated, quote, I want things to be taken in reverse, show that we behave like human beings and that we are not uncouth barbarians. This is a speech I would like to hear from those currently in power and to those who are in position, that these elections are a catalyst towards greater unity, unquote. He added in his own words that in this country one cannot exercise responsibility in the church without becoming, in a way, a politician themselves.
James Doris has been appointed British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka and the Maldives. The UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office announced that Doris will be succeeding John Rankin, who will be transferring to another diplomatic service appointment. Doris joined the FCO in 1995 and served most recently as British Ambassador to Peru for 4 years. During his career with the Foreign Office, he has worked in London on South Asian, European Union and other issues and has served overseas in Russia and in Colombia. Issuing a statement on his appointment, Doris said he was excited about taking the relationship forward at an important time and to working with Sri Lanka on issues that matter to both countries.
And on this first tonight, oil-rich Gulf states have vowed not to cut crude production, blaming speculators and producers outside the OPEC group for tumbling prices. Saudi Arabia's oil minister Ali Al-Naimi said the spread of misleading information and speculation had contributed to the 40% price fall. Speaking in Abu Dhabi, he also dismissed claims of a Saudi plot to push prices down for political goals. Ministers from Kuwait and the UAE also said that there were no plans to cut output. In November, OPEC decided to keep its target output of 30 million barrels per day unchanged, leaving the market to balance itself without the group taking action. The two-day warm-up match between the visiting Sri Lankan cricket team and the Cricket New Zealand Chairman's 11 ended in a draw today. The match was played at Queenstown, New Zealand.
On day 2 of the match, the Cricket New Zealand's Chairman's 11 were restricted to 125 runs in their first innings. Tarindu Kaushal and Dushmantha Chamira bagged 3 wickets each. Earlier, Sri Lanka posted 173 for the loss of 9 in their first essay. Sri Lanka closed day 2 on 261 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. Dimuth Karunaratne and Niroshan Dikwella scored 52 runs and 63 runs respectively. The first test between Sri Lanka and New Zealand will begin on Friday at Christchurch.